Hey everybody, it's Friday. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling the Friday vibe? I hope so. We are here at CCO. Nice to have you with us here on the 734. Our daily date to get up to date on the local news here on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and CBSM Minnesota, wherever we put this. We just want to be where you're at and bring you news in a way that we hope you find fun. Let's get you up to date on the weather. I'm giving you the full 7-day forecast because I know a lot of you have your eye on the weekend. Today's going to be great. 83, right on the money for your average high. It's going to be dry, low humidity, but things will change tomorrow. A high of 80 degrees, but it's going to be humid and you're going to feel it. You're going to have that sense of like, man, it's going to rain, and then it will. And then it'll be gone. Kind of scattered, weird day to plan for, but there will be rain off and on tomorrow. Sunday, less humid, and we start this kind of cooler pattern, below average for the remainder of the 7 days. So if you like it, low humidity, not hot, you're going to like next week. Looks pretty good. Let's talk about this because this is the only thing parents and teachers are talking about right now. There is some clarity about school this fall. It's kind of complicated, isn't it? What's the best way to describe this? There's local control within a framework set up by the state. So districts and the state leaders are looking at COVID-19 case numbers in every county over a 2-week period, the last 2 weeks. So depending on your caseload, you'll go to one of 5 scenarios. And this scenario would be the maximum thing you could do. So full in-person, hybrid learning with limited capacity and social distancing. You might have an in-person elementary and a hybrid secondary. You might have full at-home distance learning. So that county health data, part of it, districts working with state health and education leaders to kind of figure out PPE and the plan for that. So lots to consider. No simple answer. If you were expecting yesterday to have an answer, you probably don't have it. So we're asking for your reaction in one word. You've all written tons of words. But how do you feel about what happened yesterday? One word, your reaction. Weigh in on the WCCO TV Facebook page. We'll share your reactions as long as they are rated PG-13 or below coming up in a moment. The governor's plan does not apply to private schools, so private schools have the ability to do what they want, but often private schools do follow the state's lead, so we'll see what happens there. As far as public schools, the state gives you permission to do whatever, hybrid or in person. But the districts can choose to do something a little more strict. And Minnesota's 2 of the largest public school districts in our cities have already decided how the school year is going to begin.
So it is my leading recommendation for our community for us to begin in 100% distance learning commencing September 8th.
So that's the St. Paul Schools superintendent. Minneapolis Public Schools, same bit. Both are going to start online. We don't know how long that'll last, but they're going distance learning 100% at the beginning of the fall. Anoka Hennepin District, the largest in Minnesota, it has not made a decision on whether to bring students back to the classroom. They would be allowed to do hybrid learning based on the county. We talked to the superintendent on WCCO this morning. Today, we also talked to the head of the teachers union, who says there's still a lot of work to done in her mind before schools can reopen safely. Governor's order does require schools to create as much distance between students and teachers as possible. Education Minnesota says it's down with that, but they say it is going to take time to get the buildings ready. They don't want the process to be rushed. So we will see if there's tension. If a school district says we're coming back and teachers say we're not ready for that. Wisconsin has been a bit of a free-for-all, right? No mask required. Bars open, restaurants open. Things are changing. The governor is now requiring everybody in Wisconsin to wear a mask in most indoor areas. Governor Tony Evers issued that mandate yesterday. Everybody who's 5 years old or older has to wear a mask in enclosed spaces, except in your own home. Anyone who violates the order could get a $200 fine. The mask mandate runs until September 28th, unless it gets extended or shortened. Dr. Anthony Fauci and CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield set to testify this morning before a House coronavirus panel. They will say in a prepared statement that COVID-19 activity will likely continue for some time. File that under the category of no duh. Former GOP presidential candidate Herman Cain has died because of complications due to coronavirus. He was 74 years old. Kane was a Federal Reserve board member and a former CEO of Godfather's Pizza. President Trump heading to Florida to raise some campaign dough today after this tweet that Republicans and Democrats have said, huh? The president tweeted that universal mail-in voting will be the most inaccurate and fraudulent election in history. It'll be a great embarrassment. And then he suggests delay this, delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote.
I don't want to delay. I want to have the election. But I also don't want to have to wait for 3 months and then find out that the ballots are all missing and the election doesn't mean anything.
So only Congress can change the date of an election, and no one in Congress has said that's a good idea. Senate Leader Mitch McConnell says changing the date of the election is not going to happen anytime soon. Prince fans now have another way to pay tribute to the late artist, and boy, this is going to be a hot selfie, Instagram, Snapchat location, don't you think? Think of the TikToks you could shoot around the new Prince Love symbol. It's officially up at Paisley Park in Chanhassen. Graphic designer created that symbol in the early 90s. Prince kind of changed his name to this symbol, didn't he? Yeah. How do you say it? You don't. You just feel it. You sense it. New statue is 11 feet tall, which is 6 feet taller than Prince. It's 5 feet wide, 6 feet wide. It's cool, right? And anybody can go take your picture out there. You don't have to pay admission to Paisley Park. You don't have to be there for the tour. You can just kind of roll up in Chanhassen and get yourself a picture. Pretty cool. The gates are closed on Wednesday, by the way. The Paisley Park open every other day. This is probably going to be a hot ticket of the summer, right? Tickets for the Minnesota State Fair Food Parade go on sale this morning. I know some of you think it's nuts that they're charging $20 a vehicle and you're going to be in sort of a single file line, winding your way through 16 different food vendors at the fairgrounds. Some of the fair favorites are out there. The about a foot-long hot dog will be there doing big corn dogs, too. Fresh French fries, mini donuts, cheese curds for the mouth trap. The egg rolls. I love those egg rolls from Caviette. It's going to be good. $20 a car. Got to pay for the food. These are the dates that this thing's going to go on. So 3 different weekends. It does cover some of the same time that the fair would have been going on. So if you have that kind of fair anguish of missing being at the fairgrounds, you can be back out there. They're going to sell 1,000 tickets a day. So that's not a ton of tickets. And those go on sale at 10 this morning on the State Fair's website. All right, I don't know if this was a good idea or a bad idea. When Chris, our producer, and I were talking about what do we want to talk about today, I said, what about reaction in one word? I like to set up constructs, because I think creativity.
Constraints, you mean?
Constraints, You're right, thank you. I can't do this in one word. I can't do anything in one word, I'll tell you that. But I like to set up constraints. I think creativity can thrive within the walls. So, Eric, what are people saying? Their reaction to the fall school plan.
You said PG-13. You know you can get away with one F word in a PG-13 movie.
That's true.
According to the MPA.
How many people use the F word?
Nobody will use the F word
this
morning.
We're proud of you guys. How about the P word?
What's the P word?
Is it,
Poopy?
Poopy would be fine. If someone said poopy, we would allow that. There's another word denoting anger that starts with a P.
Or poop emoji, actually.
Yeah.
You could have done emoji. That would have been fun.
Emoji would have been fun.
Kimberly said realistic.
Realistic.
Wendy said frustrating.
It is. I think both those are accurate reactions, right?
Yeah.
I think it's. I heard Dr. Michael Osterholm on the radio yesterday saying this is the most sophisticated, data-driven school plan in the country, and he's looked at, and in the world. He's looked
it's
at
21 pages long, right?
It's very, and that's why I think some people are annoyed.
Yeah. Jen said mayhem.
Mayhem.
Rachel disappointed.
Yeah.
Abdullahi said unclear. Annie said angry.
Angry. All right.
Penn said patience.
Patience is required, right?
Christina said challenging. Everybody's using the same first letter as their name.
Right. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Bobby said disappointed. Kathleen, she had. No, never mind.
Okay.
It was actually 3 words.
3 words. You're cheating. We're not reading it. We have rules on this show.
Yes. Okay. She actually. Kathleen said ugh.
Ugh. Yeah. I mean, what you really have to do, and I think the easiest way to think about this, because it's overwhelming for parents. This is a lot of information. What you are making a choice as a parent is, are you going to go along for the ride? Because this is going to be open, it might be closed, it might be hybrid. Are you willing to be flexible and go along for the ride, trust the school to do what's going to be safe for your kids? Or do you either want to go one extreme or the other? You want to go to a private school where you know it's going to be open all the time, or you do distance learning. Because the school districts have to offer distance learning, no matter what, if parents want it.
St. Paul said that last night, yeah. Christina said nervous, and finally Marcy said yay, but I think based on when that popped in, she was talking about the glyph statue at Paisley Park.
The statue is cool. It is worthy of a yay. Well, it's going to be all right. We're all going to be okay. We've proven we can get through a crazy scenario in the spring, so we'll be able to do this in the fall, I'm sure of it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend. We'll be back here tomorrow. I suppose we should do it right around this time, 7:34.